Italian word for the day. Today, Friday, 21 July 2023 is Impiegata, which translates to English as employee. And an employee is someone who works for a company and receives payment or compensation for the work for that company. I have, in my work experience, I have encountered different forms of compensation. So I worked as a resident assistant at the University of Hawaii at Manoa, and as part of that job I received a salary, or like a stipend more specifically, so not salary payment but a stipend, as well as, hey, this goes like, I want to be an employee of Lucky Wallaby Courier. Oh, sorry. So I received a stipend, as well as I got my room was part of it. And then when I was a graduate student at the University of California, Berkeley, for the most part I've been paid per hour, but another job I had where that actually was a salary job was the University of California, Berkeley, and there I got a tuition waiver, so they covered my cost of tuition and fees, as well as a salary. So, and that's the only salary position I've had, is at the University of California, Berkeley. Before that, I started working when I was 14 years old, and it was mostly just hourly payment. And now thinking about Lucky Wallaby Courier, I've mentioned the group dedicated to history of sporting history and the history of world records, and even more specifically in aquatic sports, but they might expand. Spearheaded, we hope and want, by Natalie Hines, and then on the same team, Tori Hess, Claire Curzon, Reagan Smith, the swimmer. And so, if they wanted a job, the ideal or dream would be if they wanted the jobs and to be employees, we'd have the means and ability to make them employees of Lucky Wallaby Courier. I'm figuring out the kind of compensation, also something I've experienced, not always, but so at the University of California, Berkeley, I was a full-time employee, which meant I also got benefits like health insurance. So that's also something for us to think through. Thinking through lots of chatter of who else might Lucky Wallaby Courier hire. So Lucky Wallaby Courier is a print publication I founded. I'm just one founder, me. And my soulmates, if I have soulmates, my Seishon is the chief executive officer. My Leon is moral support. He's the president. There's a president of the company. Okay. And because I do the YouTube videos, but I share with Nicolo, chief media officer. Chief operating officer is my Chalmers, my Kyle. Chief financial officer is my Andre, and chief technology officer is my Mora. But if we wanted another project group, like employees, that would be artistic swimming and fashion. I would lump together because artistic swimmers have fancy outfits that they have to wear and be able to move in both on land and in the water, because part of their routine is actually done on land. So to spearhead the artistic swimming and fashion would be Javier Ruiz Sanchez, Puerto Rico, and then his vice in charge, Audrey Lamos of Canada, if she wanted it. And then to help break stereotypes, if he really wanted it, who better to put in that project than something that's been denied in the sport a long time? Old white man with zero competition experience in the sport itself. So like artistic swimming. So Melvin Stewart, if you wanted to, he'd be a good financial person. We also have to think through, so employees sometimes can work for other companies. They can also be restricted to only working for one company. So that's also something to think through. And I don't know like how many people each of them would want to bring with them. Fashion is kind of a large project. Yeah. All right, if we're thinking of the history of fashion and fashion itself. And then anybody else? Yeah, so if we got fashion on land and in the water, we also need the big missing component there is fashion in the snow. So if she wanted it, Ariel Shipe of Tahoe in Colorado. And Ariel Shipe, if you're watching this, I hope you and your baby girl are healthy, whether she's still in the womb or born. And I hope you, your baby girl, your dog Tabor, and your man are all healthy, and you'd all be welcome with taking into account labor rights or figuring out benefits that could incorporate them. And especially with the dog, right? You know, how do we get dog fashion incorporated in squirrel fashion, right? And the squirrels maybe want to be employees and plant trees and stuff like that. But yeah, and then I guess this is gonna be a longer one. The big thing for us, for Lucky Wallaby Courier, and especially online articles, print articles, online encyclopedia, print encyclopedia, we have transparency is our motivator in getting proper attribution and working through conflicts of interest. So we want, there can be people who write for Lucky Wallaby who are not employees, especially for the online encyclopedia part, which each article has no limit. We're actually modeling ourselves after YouTube in their no limit on the number of videos. We're taking that approach to the size of an article, no limit on article size. So that's, YouTube does has size limits and time limits on videos, but their limitless one is number of videos. So we're taking that approach only for article size, and that's inspired by YouTube and Yelp, where on Yelp businesses can have any number of reviews. So kind of inspired by those businesses, but we want to figure out how to verify identities of people in person so they can use their real name. And we accept that if there are people in like Venezuela who don't know their last name, or America, right, they can still edit like whatever name they do have. Sometimes circumstances in life, people don't have that privilege of knowing their full name, right? But still making sure they have as accurate as a not profile page, but autobiography page as they can, so that people know who they are when they contribute, even if it's just one contribution. We want to make sure everybody, in-person authentication, even for that one edit, whether it's the 25 Juan Morales in Venezuela, you know, and we go and we authenticate each one, or they come wherever Lucky to us, wherever Lucky Wallaby Courier maybe. But that's the case of sometimes companies have contributors that aren't employees. So Italian word of the day for today, Friday, 21 July 2023, is Impiegata, which translates to English as employee.